Let me raise my question. First, how do you propose to solve the school funding problem? Wait a minute, I'm not done. And the concept of American exceptionalism has been completely removed from our textbooks. Children are taught to be global citizens. Do you agree this is the correct path? If not, how will you correct this systemic problem? What is your stance on vouchers and school choice? So you're going to do this. So the real problem there.
School vouchers, I don't know that issue as long as it's not right, there's no problem. The first part, I don't know, not really answer that. The second part, give me the second part again.
Oh yeah. The concept of American exceptionalism.
Okay, I got it. If you go to,
You're very exceptional.
if you go to veterans-coalition.org, you look down, you'll see Colonel Teddy Bittner. He's a professor and a doctor at Calvary Bible College. He had textbooks sent to him to read. He's also one of the strategists for war, Bosnia, and Kosovo. That's why he's successful. He wrote books, and he also had books sent to him, and he sent them back, just like Texas did a short time ago, and said, you left out certain things, and you put lies in here. We need to tell the truth about our American history. And that's basically what I can answer. The first part, what was the show?
Yeah, how to solve the school funding problem.
Sure, that was a hard one. That's the hard one, is right. Ray Benson was going to do it, couldn't do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm not the smartest guy. These people are all educated. I went to NYU. Use guys that don't know. That's too more important. But I do know, before you get to, I'm going to tell you, there's a gentleman on the stage that I would definitely say, come here, we need to talk. There's lots of people. It cannot be solved overnight. Ray Benson would have done it like that. So I really need to study that. And again, I'll pull people in from all sides. We need to do it. One of the problems with education that I've heard, the State House was representative in his area, not mine, thank God, had 3 teachers making $64,000 a year. They taught kindergarten, and they taught 1 to 6 or 7 students each. We really got to look at that, and I look into education. And that's true. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ray. John?
Thank you, Ray. Well, first of all, with regard to the Claremont decision, we absolutely have to stand firm. We need new leadership to do it. You can't just say you're against the Claremont legislation decision. You come out with a constitutional amendment as a proposal and not do anything to get it through. We need new leaders, new representatives that stand for local control. I believe strongly Claremont decision is an affront to our just very being here in New Hampshire. It's a violation, in my opinion, of the Constitution, but I don't think that the judgment should be saying that the state should fund anything at a certain level. That's what this decision says, Rick. It says that you have to fund, and you have to determine adequacy, and you must fund it. Now, think about that. We have judges telling another branch of the branches of government, we have 3 branches, telling the executive, judiciary, that you must fund something at a certain level. I don't believe our forefathers ever intended that to be the case. So I'm a steadfast believer we've got to fix that, and we need a constitutional amendment. But you know that's not going to happen because of the way the amendments get put on the ballot until the second year out in the term. So we have to do some short-term fixes here. We need to keep a targeted aid formula in attack, and we've got to come up with a decision soon, you know, because we are going back to donor states, donor towns, if we don't do anything. We need a leader. You're going to pit towns against towns again in New Hampshire. Governor Lynch said, we're no longer going to see donor towns. Guess what? They're coming back. In some of the towns, I was reading with one town is all talking about the school board that they're going to get $5 million extra money, and they're finding out, well, what should we do with it? They don't need that $5 million, and we need to fix it immediately, and we're going to. The second question is, my wife and I, when our teachers in our local school district aren't doing their jobs, we go down there and talk to them. I believe strongly in local control. I don't believe the state really has any business getting involved in the local decisions. Education really is a local decision, in my opinion, right? And that's why I feel so strongly about local control. Growing up as a young boy, seeing my grandfather and Candy, a town road agent, and watching them debate those budgets. I want those folks to determine curriculum. And they can do it with guidance at the state level, but really it's local. And that's what I would say to the question.
Thank you, Jack.
As far as I'm concerned, and boy, this issue is near and dear to my heart. The federally mandated education system that we have in our country is a complete failure, and it's been that way for the last 40 years. This just isn't recent. No more. We have to push back and say no. I believe in local control. We should absolutely have had a constitutional amendment by now to solve the problem with Claremont. But I want to add something. Vouchers. Vouchers. The money follows the student. You inject competition into the marketplace, including local control, and you will see an immediate change in the education process in the state of New Hampshire. If you're not happy, and most folks that I know are, with what's going on in the schools with your children, then by God, you should get them out of that school, and we'll help you do it and send them to a private school or another school in the adjoining town. That's what has to happen in this state. Lastly, a challenge. But last, and I think very important, because I didn't feel this way 30 years ago. But boy, am I a proponent of homeschooling. I've met some enormously successful young folks that have been homeschooled, and they have been superlative. Folks, how do we educate our kids years and years and years ago at home? Not every parent can homeschool, but those that can should if they want to. Barriers should not be put in front of them. We should help them. The bottom line is, it's about the kids. It's about the kids. That's where we have to direct our attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jack. Karen.
Well, I have a little bit of a different approach to this. We have to, number one, we have a big problem in the state with spending. And where does it start? 28% of our state budget goes to the Department of Education. As I said earlier, we have to start analyzing whether or not our agencies are doing what they were supposed to do. So I would suggest that we go back to the original intent of our founding fathers and find out what government was supposed to do. The Department of Education was introduced in 1917 or 1919, and its primary mission was to oversee the public education, not homeschooling, public education. And so how have they been doing? In 2004, we had 14 schools, according to school districts, according to the No Child Left Behind, that were in need of improvement. Today, we have over 30. It seems to me that the Department of Education is not doing its job. And if you were a business and you had a department that was not performing properly, what would you do? You'd eliminate it. And that's one way to cut our spending. The other part of this question was about homeschooling, school choice for our parents. One of the things that our government continues to do is get in the way of parents doing what was constitutionally their right to do, their right and responsibility to oversee the education of their children, the bringing up of their children. It's high time that the government gets out of their way. I was a homeschooler. I sent my children to private school. I sent my children to public school. It all depended upon what that child needs. I'm a firm believer in local control. We need to get the concrete bureaucracy out of the way and allow the local communities to oversee their education. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.